Hey, wildlings. I wanted to come on here specifically in the Telepathy Tapes community that I've created in here, in the Sacred Grove for this conversation because I know not everybody agrees with the information that's being shared, and it's not a topic that everybody feels comfortable talking about. I mean, it's been my whole entire life. If you haven't listened to the telepathy tapes, I would highly recommend it, especially if you believe you're in the divergent community. It really gave me the language to be able to even understand for myself what was going on in my mind and in my body, and that it wasn't, or there were other people out there experiencing the world the way I experiencing it. And since I've gotten this language and started to understand what's going on in my body, it's actually becoming easier and easier for me to communicate. Um, I would say it's always been easy for me, but now I'm allowing that communication. I think previous to now, I didn't realize how much I was blocking a lot of the experiences that actually help me on a daily basis. They're like my guidance system, and that was one of the things that um, the telepathy tapes really helped me understand. And if you don't know what the telepathy tapes are, they're a podcast by Kai Dickens that really delves into the nonverbal autistic community and how we're actually locked inside our bodies. And even people like myself who are verbal, and I don't consider myself nonverbal, but I have a very hard time communicating what's in here to the world in a way that makes sense or that is consumable, because I don't process the world in the same way. So one of the things that I'm really starting to embrace is allowing my body to be more in that autistic space. And I know for me, that is my privilege. Like, I have the time and the space to be able to allow my body to just be like, okay, like, you're safe. What do you want to do? And how do you want to experience the world? And then instead of choose, like today, I have accomplished a lot this week already, and it's Tuesday. So I actually had to tell my brain, Emma, you can allow yourself to go to that place today, and you can allow yourself to use the energy that you gained this morning to actually help educate people. And the more that I allow myself to be in that ebb and flow, like whenever I'm feeling inspired to talk, I just talk. And whenever I'm feeling like, okay, like I can't show up today because I'm feeling overwhelmed, then I'm just going to like pull back and not engage, and maybe even ask for somebody to write a post or ask for somebody to engage more, so I don't have to be always the one showing up in that way. And that's been really, really, really hard for me as a 48-year-old adult person who has responsibilities. It's really hard. And that is like the like core of like decolonizing your nervous system, is like actually convincing yourself it's safe and okay just to be me. And it feels like a really weird thing to say out loud. And if you maybe don't experience the world the way that an autistic person does, which is like everything, you may not understand this bit, but it's not always safe. And I it's hard being 48 and having these realizations, because you're realizing like I tortured myself. Um But like I'm now allowing myself to say no to so much more. I'm allowing myself to like just hang out with my dogs today and not have to feel productive or have to produce something. And like doing this feels good because it's feeding what I need, which is the release, but it's also allowing other people to see a different way of processing because I don't have a lot of people I can process information with because they are also um sensory avoidant. So like both my son and my partner cannot take somebody droning on it. Like my husband, yeah, I'm being a different kind of productive. And that's essentially it, Michelle. Like I'm learning how to just be productive in the way that I'm good at it. Like I really do these crazy bursts of energy. Um like this morning I was up at 6:30 and I've already gone swimming. I've already sent my kid to school. I've already watered my garden. I've already done a whole bunch of things. I made oat bars and I'm learning to ride those waves and I'm learning to allow my productivity to kind of my way of producing, the way that I feel good to really come back and to stop kind of trying, even though I really don't fit in a box, and even though I don't like do things the typical way, I still think that I have to contribute in a typical way. And I have to get better at like just showing up and doing my thing. Like somebody asked me yesterday about like when did you feel your best when you were showing up? And I'm like, it's doing lives. Like they're so natural to me and I can feel people's energy on lives and I can feel like I'm connecting with something. And now I just have to like, do something with those, which I still love. Well, that's the part that I'm struggling with. Package them into like little tidbit clips and like put them out into the world so people come and find my long forms. Oh, that's where my brain goes, no, I don't want to do it that way. But there is some reasoning behind doing things because it works. Um, but I don't want to be like I don't want to have to be forced to do that, or I don't want to chase the algorithm because I know what it leads to. It leads to burnout because you can't actually perform the way the algorithm wants you to unless you have like a bit like a business. I had when I was doing it properly and I built my 10,000 followers on my Woo Shop page, we were posting 3 times a day, and one was a reel, one was a carousel, and one was a stagnant. And you just and you put it in the system, and I know how to do all of that, but I don't want to do it that way because I don't want the people that follow that stuff. I want the people that follow my random breadcrumbs to show up here. And I think that's the piece that I'm finally getting to be okay with is all of this, how you connect and how we actually 100% need to show up is totally not based on anything that we're choosing. Which is like the hardest piece. Like I'm talking about like how do you like make a connection with the nonverbal community? It's truly is, if you are supposed to connect with the nonverbal community is just going to cross your path in some way. And I think that's one of the things that I really want people to understand, that if you're feeling called to anything to do with the telepathy tapes, like if you feel like you want to become um, a, a communicator, like I can't remember what it's called, like spelling or whatever, like teaching kids how to use those things, that's great. But just go out and do the course and then like join the community and do that. You don't have to like just go out and seek specifically telepathy tape. Like that's what I'm kind of saying is there's no right way to connect to this bigger web of things that we're doing. It's more if you want to connect with what is going on in the autistic world with the telepathy tapes and all this energy behind it, just start moving towards what you would like to do. Like for me, it was more about I have a space where I could provide space for people to come and regulate and maybe allow their kids to go to that place where I truly regulate. Like I know when I'm drifting off, like I've set up, this is what I plan on doing today. I've set up my Reiki table right beside me here. And I plan on going on and like doing a whole bunch of like meditations. Why did I move that so much? A whole bunch of meditations and a whole bunch of like tune-ins just to let my body go. And not just like a 15 minute, like a good 2 hour or a good like, I'm maybe going to do some of the chanting for my throat chakra because I know I'm struggling to say some of the things that I really need to say because I still don't. But it's not that I don't believe in myself, but there's just this like, there's like I know that there's a piece of the puzzle missing, or like I know there's a piece of something, so I'm just not pushing it or forcing it, or I'm just allowing, which is a really great fun space to be. um yeah, and like Michelle says, be authentic and your frequency will attract the right people. And I think, that's what I've always done. I've just showed up and I've just tried to help people. And through me just trying, it leads to something bigger. So I think that's what I just have to start doing again, but like just showing up when I have energy. And that was really what Woo Chats were, or what my lives were, was me when I had a little bit of extra energy, I was showing up and giving it back to my community. And that's just what I have to start doing. I don't have to, but like I feel like I want to do that again. And one of the ways that I want to help is through um, again, teaching ritual and teaching like slowing ourselves down and connecting with nature. How can we do that? Or how can we use that to learn to connect with that greater consciousness? And nature is the best thing because it asks you to be present, because you're not going to see all of the beauty in it if you aren't present. Like I went out this morning and swam at Shades Mill at like 6:30 in the morning with the geese and the mist, and it was like so frigging amazing and the perfect way to reset my nervous system. It's 5 minutes away. My friend just comes and picks me up and we go, and then we float and swim for an hour. And then my life has started on the right foot. Like I feel more connected to my body because I've allowed myself to float off. So I'm making better decisions. I'm more in my body. I'm more conscious. I'm not just doing the floating through life on the hamster wheel. And I know for some people right now, that is the only way to like get life done. You're in survival. I totally get it. But what I want to do is I want to educate you for the times when you're not going to be in survival, so that you have a tool chest to actually be able to do some of these things and regulate yourself, because you're like, oh, I remember when Emma said, if my body's feeling like this, just do this. And honestly, like, it's really, really simple to do some of these things. And it can be about just sitting in nature for like 15 minutes a day. Or if you don't have access to nature, I forgot to bring them down. I have these amazing headphones that you just have to wait and they go on sale, but they actually vibrate and you can put on binaural beats and then nature sounds and you get to the same place. Like, honestly, yes, it's great to be in actual nature, but you can actually get yourself to that vibration by just tuning out in the hallway on lunch with your headphones on. You can do it. And yeah, all of the other stuff adds to it, but how about we just give ourselves the opportunity instead of saying it's not good enough because it's not exactly what I experienced on that retreat or in this meditation, or we I guess it's gaslighting. We totally gaslight ourselves into believing that there's not enough time to do any of this stuff. And there's more than enough time. Like, we have 24 hours. Everybody has 24 hours. If you want to set your day off on a right foot, you can choose to do that. And I think we're really, with everything that we choose, it's like we're creating spaces so we can blame something else. Oh, it's my chakras are not balanced. Oh, it's my this is not. Oh, this is off. And oh, my cards are saying this is the time to hermit. So this is my time to. No, man, just like, what does your body need? Your body is truly going to I feel like my eyes look really, really, I think it's just the lenses. They look like super tiny. I'm not, my eyes are like, um, but I really feel like we're just not giving ourselves enough time to just be. Like, I even said to my husband the other day, like, um, I kind of wish Sunday shopping, like the ban on Sunday shopping would come back. Like, and I know it's because some people don't get Sundays off. I totally get it. But I think humanity is so ridiculous that we will not force ourselves to rest. And one of the things, the reason why nonverbal autistics can communicate so easily with the collective is they do not have to deal with the rest of the world, because they're not having to have those interactions every day. So their energy is their energy and their consciousness is their consciousness, because they're not having to do those daily interactions, which is a curse and a gift. Like, I will tell you that when I can't communicate, it does feel so restful. It does kind of feel like, oh, I like finally just get to be, I just get to be with me, because a lot of the time there's so much going on in my head. And when I go nonverbal, I don't have to deal with other people's interpretations. I don't have to, it's just me and my mind and my experience of the world, and I can shut everything off. And if you can start to like learn how to do that in the most basic way, you will get closer to connecting. And it is hard. And I think it's not easy. Even the people that are like, yes, I want to take the class. Yes, I want to meditate. Yes, I want to connect with my kids. Yes, I want to do it. Even for the people that want to choose to do it, that are trying to do the meditations, are trying to sit still, are trying to quiet their mind, it's really, really, really hard, because it's not a natural state for people who don't have a mind like us autistics, where you create these worlds in your mind and you disappear into them. And really, that is what connecting with consciousness is. is letting go and allowing yourself to go into somebody else's world and not be worried about what happens while you're in there. You know you're safe, you know you're protected, and you let yourself open up so wide that it's like, okay, who wants to talk? And that's where I have always gone in my mediumship, in my meditation. I've always just been like, okay, boop. And then like it's wide open. I'm not protecting I'm not calling in guides. I'm not doing any of these things. I do in my shamanic work ask wolves to come in. I work with ravens. I do call in if I have a specific need, but most of the time I'm just floating in this primordial energy that is connected to all things. And that's where the kids in the telepathy tapes are going. There are specific locations called the Hill. And that's one that people get called to a lot to transfer information. But sometimes I didn't really understand what I was doing, but when I hyper focus on something and I'm receiving all of this information from like, being on the internet or reading a book or connecting with people or I'm trying to think of taking a class or any of these things that I do, I'm not really present when that transfer of information is happening. I'm in the classroom and I kind of it was neat to go and have somebody, that I know teach the class because we got to talk about some of the subject matter afterwards. And I was like, well, isn't that interesting? Because I don't remember specifically what she's talking about, but I know what she's talking about. And it's a hard thing to explain to people, especially when like, you're talking to somebody in a completely different field than you have experience, say like forestry or whatever. I have no experience in that. But I can talk to them about the molecular level of fungi and how they interact with like because I went deep. And when I went deep, it wasn't just a conscious deep. It was like I was becoming the mycelium. I was becoming the fruiting body of the mushroom. I become the information. Does that even make sense? Like this is what I feel like I want to talk more about in our telepathy tapes group is if you have experience of consciousness that is different than how you were being taught, I want to have these conversations because I think there's knowledge, information in it that we haven't allowed ourselves to access um, because we believed the rules of intuition. Does that make sense? Ooh, that made a lot of sense to me. And because autistic minds love rules, when we're told the rules, we try to live within the rules. So then, especially in spiritual communities, we go, oh, okay, so you have to protect yourself. You have to show up like this. You have to call in a guide. You have to, and we follow those rules perfectly. And then we go, well, none of this is working for me. And then we find our own way to do it within that system. And we're the ones that are like, oh, I've created this modality. Oh, I've had this experience. And I do think we are, in a certain way, the prophets and the soothsayers and the seers because we literally feel and experience these things on a completely different like wavelength because our bodies vibrate differently. They've actually done brain scans while we're doing this, autistics are doing this work, and it like goes to, I think it goes to the theta level. And I know the theta level is like the healing level in your brain waves. Um, so that is really fascinating. And I do feel like when I allow myself to float to that space and sit here, because I can feel it now, it actually feels different in my head. Um, and it feels lighter. It feels like my body is actually, I don't want to say it's not a tingle. I just feel lighter. I feel more open. I feel like I could access things that I wouldn't be able to access when I was in my body. Um, and, you know, some people explain it like the Akashic records. Like, I literally go into this library and say, okay, you want to talk to your Aunt Mildred? Okay, let's go look at her book. And it's not like I'm looking at a book, but I'm looking at her life and I'm trying to explain to you what she looked like and maybe where she lived. And that's the Akashic records. And to me, what the Akashic records are is a memory of the vibration of that person. So when I'm sitting with somebody doing mediumship, I'm literally tapping into the vibration through the person sitting in front of me. I am just a vessel, a conduit, a like amplifier, and you are the person that brings all of the information. And it's in your vibration, it's in your energy. That information is sitting there. And I just have to like go, oh, okay, just think about your Aunt Mildred for a second. Like, think about the love she brought you, or like, you know, or if you didn't like her, think about like what irked you. So then I can tune into, and it's so funny because even as I said that, the energy shifted. I could feel this like fun, happy person that I kind of had in my mind in the first place turn into this really cold, flat energy. And I've never, I've never used my words, sorry, to describe what I'm seeing and feeling. And I don't understand why I never thought to do that. I don't understand why I never thought to even try to explain what I was seeing or feeling. But I think it's more because I was told so much by life in general, my parents, my brother, my grandparents, my aunts, my aunt, like anybody that ever heard me go, oh, do you see that thing? Or like, hey, do you feel like, does it feel weird here? Or are you feeling so? Like, everybody's just like, psh. So I just stopped. I stopped. Oh, that kills me. I stopped allowing myself to feel things so deeply, um, which is crazy because I thought I did feel things really deeply. I thought I was like I thought I had these big feelings, but that was everybody else's feelings. I was, when I tune into your energy, it's like a ha, I get rocked by it. And because nobody ever experienced it like that, or I didn't see other people experiencing it like that, I never told people like, oh my god, like I get knocked off my chair, because that would be weird because I don't look like I'm getting knocked off my chair. um but everybody just said, well, don't like be so big when you feel it because you're going to freak people out, or it did freak people out. um so now explaining this out loud, it just feels really, well, definitely vulnerable. But it feels very like, why didn't I ever do this? Like, why didn't I ever talk about what I feel. And like I do know, because I'm in trauma therapy, it's my trauma that keeps me like not saying things. It's why I have to keep working on my throat chakra. I keep leaving behind my lapis lazuli. My healer's gonna be mad at me. They're like, keep it with you at all times. Get a necklace. I even have a lapis lazuli necklace somewhere, and I can't friggin' find it. Like I was given one once, and it's driving me crazy. So all of this to say, connecting with the nonverbal community. If you want to do that, if you want to be connected somehow to the greater web of this autistic kind of movement that is happening, just start doing the work for yourself. Start tuning into your body yourself. Start allowing yourself to either go out of your body or come back into your body, however you need to be in this experience, because everybody is going to experience it differently. Consciousness is like it's a fickle thing because we're fickle, right? Like you have access to it whenever you want to, but you have to be calm and totally in your body and totally in a place of being open to receive love. Um, and I think I realized today that because I didn't receive love in the way that I needed it as a kid, I was always open to receive. And that left me very vulnerable. And like, this is the whole other piece. You have to feel through those. Like, right now, my heart, I can feel it. Like, it aches. Like, it just, and to be here, to be in this place where I can feel this, but not let it dysregulate it, not let it make me angry. Like, that's the one thing that I'm getting way better at. I used to rage and rant and just sort of like almost like froth at the mouth because I would get so angry about things, just random things in the world or injustices or whatever. But that's a total dysregulation. It's like, some people call it passion, but it's like, well, passion can be channeled into things. We can change this dysregulation and put it into something good. And that's what I'm trying to do now, is actually channel this energy that I have always been putting into things that weren't my own, that weren't draining, that wasn't like overwhelming or causing more chaos in my life. I now just want to put energy into things that light me up and that feel good and that like heal me and that take care of me. Because truly, the only people that are going to, and I've been saying this for over a decade, but the only person that can truly help us is us. And it has to be like like you literally have to flick a switch. Like, I flicked a switch this morning to get up and go swimming and be okay with it. And like, I actually had a lot of fun. And I wouldn't have been able to flick that switch years ago. And it's because I'm now calm in my body. I know it's not going to dysregulate me. I know I can meet with somebody and not take on all their like stuff and then be drained for the rest of the day. I know I can come back and be relaxed and still be in my body and still be present and that's like, for me, that's huge. And it doesn't seem like a huge accomplishment, but for somebody who is autistic and doesn't always feel their body, being able to do that and not be overstimulated and not be overwhelmed and just be in the moment, is friggin' glorious. And that is what we're all truly looking to achieve, is to feel so safe and in abundance, um, that we can take the time to give back to ourselves. That is all people are seeking, is just that space to do it. And they think if they have more, they will have more space to do it in. No. You just got to make the space and like do it, because then you can have it at any point in your life. You don't have to like rush out and overwork yourself so you can have more time off, so you can have, no, how about you just like fit it within the life that you're living, and then you don't feel like you're racing for something else. Oh shit, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, okay. Simple, simple, simple. And like these are the things that I want to be talking about more and letting people kind of like think about more. And that's really all I want, is people to ponder a different life. You don't have to make major changes. You just have to be like, yeah, maybe Emma's right. Maybe Emma's logic truly does make sense, and we all just need to slow down a little bit to see that we already have what we need, and that there is happiness right in front of us every damn day. And we have to stop chasing our tails, is essentially it. Like, get off the Ouroboros track, man. Like, quit chasing your own friggin' tail. You need to like start moving somewhere else, because that's all we're doing, is we're chasing our tails and we're destroying the planet at the same time, and it's really frightening. And I'm kind of like sick of watching everybody do it, so I made this place so we could talk about ways to like undo all that stuff. And letting autistic kids talk for the first time about what we have learned and how we learned how to do it, and then trying to teach other people to connect with consciousness so they can feel this. Like, I will tell you, I don't feel this all the time. There are days where I feel absolutely crappy and I feel like there's no solutions, but I feel this way more often now. I feel calm and in my body. And oh, do I have another cat? I did this yesterday. Oh no. Whew. I was supposed to go see my hormone specialist yesterday. If you watched me on IG, and I was like, oh shit, I forgot something. I was supposed to go see my hormone specialist yesterday, but I'm in such a good place, I completely forgot about it. So and I love, they're so awesome. Dr. Frank, Jade in the she's like the gatekeeper. She's amazing. She is like, she honestly, everybody should go and figure out Jade's system, or the one that Dr. Frank made. I don't know, but they seem to have worked together. That is magic, whatever they do together. But the whole entire thing is amazing, with boundaries and like when you have to show up and da da da. Anyway, side tangent. They even said, well, that means you're in a good place. If you didn't need to have to come here to, because I'm always usually like biting my nails and being like, oh my God, I got to go see Dr. Frank because we need to adjust your hormones. But I've gotten to this place where I'm regulating myself enough that my hormones aren't spiking as much. And I'm actually feeling much calmer and much more in my body. And it's why I can actually now say the things that I need to say in the way that I need to say it, because I actually have the space and time to process it. And previously in my life, I didn't have space and time to process it because I was in such a rush and I wasn't in my body. So that is like the main piece of all of this, is you have to be connected to your body. Because if you're not conscious of what your body is telling you, then how can you be conscious of something out of your body is telling you? And it's why when we do the shedding, I always start people with a body scan, because you have to get to know your body. You have to get comfortable with just kind of like being, and like asking your body what it needs, and asking consciousness what it needs from you, or what direction do you need to be pulled in. And not a lot of people are comfortable doing that. So I'm starting to realize that I have to go back to the basics again, and I have to start teaching people ritual again, which is, it's so ridiculous. Everybody knows that I love a good ritual, but like not in the like big ritual, just like actually showing up and doing it. So I think I'm probably going to do that. But allow yourself the time to just sit and be in your body and with your own thoughts that aren't the racing, oh my God, what do I have to do? What do I have to produce? Where do I have to? No. Take off, and I use in my book, I call it the shit helmet. Take off the shit helmet and just be in your body and be with yourself and just go, what do I need right now? And if it's going and laying down in bed, then go and lay down in bed. If it's going out with friends, then go out with friends. But ask your body, what do I need? If it's a cuddle, find somebody to cuddle with. Like, I don't ask for touch very often, but I actually need touch. And today, one of my friends was like, get out of the car. We're hugging. And I'm like, perfect, because I did need a hug. And find people that understand your language and understand that you're maybe not going to ask for something. Um, because again, it's this idea of not knowing how to communicate our needs. And if you want to get better at learning how to receive communication, you also have to get better at learning how to communicate. So this was a lot. That was a lot of verbal rantage. I don't even know how much I went on for, but it was truly about to say, if you want to start connecting with the nonverbal community, start connecting with yourself first. Start learning how to be in your body and just be, because that is how you're going to make the connection to consciousness, is just being in your body. And it is a very hard thing to do in a society that is all about producing. So, conversation starter. How do you experience consciousness? Answer it in the comments. You just heard how I experience it.